area, wait till they play. Like this, at the verse. At the verse. Because get one word there, we don't kill many people, we don't destroy many people's life. And many people want to know. That word my pastor say. Some pastors say, where they play. Where see really they play because I know. Where see they play. When they go back by the Shomai Kaka, they do like say una know, but when they see una back here. You get to call advice when I'll give people, they destroy person's life. If you don't die now, so now. If you know the abusive relationship, however they beat her back to back. Back to back. What are you supposed to do? That man don't need help. You carry Philo come on first. Put for one place. You see me Philo pray. Make she focus so sit for church. The last time we husband beat her because he born beans. I follow Philo talk for hospital. This morning I call her now, I shake her. What did happen? Philo mama pick up. Philo don't die. Because my pastor say, Philo go tell me say, Mama, my pastor say, 2018. One of my friends died because the pastor say he must use totote bomb. Say they know they do cut and sew because she be Hebrew woman. Now she died with Pikin. I can go on and on. This my pastor say we need to be calming down like this because it's not funny again. Guess what kind of advice you know give member? My pastor say this scatter many people relationship, scatter many people life. We need to know God for ourselves. And know the prophets where God call and the ones where call themselves. Everything I HQ. It's not funny again. If you don't die now, so. Because you tell her say, make she stay inside. I was scatter your teeth just now.
All right. Hi guys, welcome to another interesting episode of Trash It. Okay, before we start, you already know everybody in this house if you're one of our regulars, but there's one person you've never seen before. And that is in the name of our very own, the real Warri Pikin. Okay, a round of applause. It is an honor to have you on the show, the real Warri Pikin. Thank you for coming on today to discuss this very important topic with us. Okay, I mean, I was in her DMs. I mean, we all know the real Warri Pikin. She's a public figure. She's a comedian. She's an MC. She's an actress. She's an influencer. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. And as you all know, we have our very own Victoria Iyama. Victoria is one of us already on Trash It. She'll be coming on our show all the time. So thank you again, Victoria, for coming on this topic with us. Okay, so
you're welcome.
Okay, so we would have all just watched the video that played at the beginning of this segment where the real Warri Pikin a few weeks back posted the video on her Instagram page, right? About a friend that passed away by domestic violence. And the reason why, I know we've done a series on domestic violence before where Victoria came and shared her story, but the reason why we want to revisit this is the way this happened, right? This happened because this lady's pastor told her to stay in this abusive relationship. So I'm going to go to the real Warri Pikin. If you can please just tell us a little bit about this person that sadly passed away and the events that led to her death.
Okay, so basically, funny enough, I've never met Philomena before.
Wow.
Yes, she's one of my mentees. You know how the space that we're in, as we Warri Pikin, we have different people reach out to me all the time, you know, and I've been doing this for a couple of years, and over the years I've had lots of young girls, women talk to me about deep stuff, you know, and I tend to advise them based on life from life or experience, you know. So Philo is just one of them. Got married and she was just having issues with her husband, like back to back. He likes to transfer aggression. And he beats her up for things like toothpaste. Why didn't you tell me there was no fuel in the generator? I kept my car key here. Why is it not? You know, things, flimsy things like that, petty things, you know. And then we got talking because I made a video one time and she reached out to me via DM. We exchanged numbers. We go talking regularly. We used to even fight. We go fight, Seth. I go block her for WhatsApp. You know what gets sense? Then sometimes again, she reached out to me on DM. I'll unblock her. So we're going back and forth, you know, and then he beat her up again. That was during the pandemic when they were the first 2 weeks lockdown.
Okay.
He beat Philo finish. She called me. I was upset. I told her, Philo, this is the part where you leave. I think she had a miscarriage or so. I said, well, this is the part where you leave. I'm not telling you to divorce, so just go where you fit a breathe first. Then from there, if I to call your family members, maybe call the family members, make una gather from one place. More will talk the thing, but not before you that. Philo said no. A pastor said they want peace. She needs to pray. She needs to sow seed. That divorce is not the answer. Leaving the house is not the answer to the problem. That they need to pray. Philo should stay there. Philo should stay there. My pastor say. I say, Philo, now they are alive, they pray. If pastor won't pray for madman, he no go cover your eye. He go open up. The madman won't blow him. Everything are wisdom. The Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. I'm not saying you should disrespect your pastor, but there are some things that you are not even supposed to involve your pastor because you don't even know the answer. They are not professionals. They are just men of God. That one, na evil God call himself. Philo was like, no problem. Then I didn't talk to her for a while, and I got really busy. And then a couple of weeks ago, she called me at night. She was crying. Philo, what's happened? Say, did they rush her go hospital? You know? And that he really follow her up back to back because I just felt like normal admission where she go to Mali. She go soon go out. You know? I call severally, and then we will chat, and you know, until that Sunday, I just say, now true, me and Philo never really talk. She talk about hospital, or with they say Philo don't die. I'm gonna do that video.
I know that.
You know, she stayed back because of her pastor. She stayed back. She didn't tell me any other reason. She just said her pastor said it's going to be fine. We have to pray. It's a demon. It's a spiritual attack. I don't think he's using his head. There's something, you know. Philo stayed back because gone.
Wow.
I never met her. I know her. Like, no over the year. But she's one of
And real work Pikin, did Philo have children?
No, Philo was just married for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Philo not born.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's really sad. Victoria, I'm going to come to you. With everything that's happened, because I know you're an advocate for domestic violence, and also you've had your own experience as well. And I know that with regards to all these pastors, you've also had your fair share of all this. So what do you think? Do you think that this woman could have been saved and this death could have been avoided if she had just applied reasoning and not listening to the pastor?
No, she couldn't. She couldn't have been saved. I'm telling you, and I'm using myself as an example because the way the pastors brainwash you, the way the pastors brainwash you, you will never. I mean, in my case, I always use. I don't know about other people, but I can really relate to what Anita is saying, and I understand that girl very well. My pastor would say something like, oh, you have to keep praying and looking up to God. It's not between you and him, it's between you and God. And I would always say, well, pastor, I don't mind doing that. Then he shouldn't come hit me. After beating me, you come to want to have sex with me. You know, I might as well keep myself and focus on God, and you finish abusing me, and then you want to come and have sex with me. And the pastor will say, well, you cannot deny him your body, because so and so place in the Bible says that even if you're fasting to God and praying, if your husband does not sanction it, God will not accept it. Yes, there's a place like that in the Bible. Yes. He showed it to me, I can't remember, where for you to do a fasting, you know, you need to take permission from your husband, or else God will not accept that your fasting and prayer. Right? And so I gave up. So the only one that would have made her leave that marriage is that pastor. And the pastor is always working hand in hand with the husband. Yeah, because she will complain to the pastor. The husband will come and complain to the pastor. But one thing I've realized is that these pastors are abusers themselves, right? They are abusers themselves, so they do not see anything wrong. I mean, my own pastor would say something like, "Oh, your husband abused you. Do you know what I tell my wife every day?" And he would say it in front of my ex. Do you know how I also abused my own wife? Has she left? And this is a man that when I was ill, when I into that brainwashing, that he would always come to Guy's hospital almost every other day to pray with me, right? And he would tell me, "You're not going to die." So for me, that was what roped me into believing him. Because there were times when I actually thought I was, but he would say, "You're not going to die. You're going to come out of this," right? So that made me believe him. And then he would always say things like, "You survived cancer, you are alive, so you will survive this one too. Now, if you leave, your covering would leave. Now, you would expose yourself to more harm, and that way you can die easily." Right? And he would tell me about the Bible and children, that children must grow in under their father's, protection.
Yeah.
If not, that God will be angry with me for taking them away from God. It got to a stage that sometimes when I'm ill, because apart from the cancer, other follow-up things that came with chemotherapy, he would now say, "It's because you're rebelling. That is why you're sick again."
God.
Can't you just take everything as faith and just calm down? Don't talk back to your husband. When your husband is talking, don't say anything. When my baby, when it was, I was noticing a bit of autism in my son, the pastor said, "It's because you're rebellious. See what God has done now."
Oh.
Yeah. So I started blaming myself. So I just became mumu. I don't talk back. I don't do anything. You beat me up. I say, "Okay, let me die here."
So
Because
Victoria, why were you so dependent on the pastor? Like, why did you take his words for face
I grew
value?
up in Nigeria where we take religion seriously, right? I grew up in Nigeria where we take religion seriously, and there's a way we reverence our pastor, Reverend Father, So I brought that mentality from Nigeria to this place, right? And it's with, but it's just our upbringing. It's just our upbringing that will make you see a man and believe totally in the man without even questioning anything he says. That's how we are in Nigeria. It's a bit like when Reverend Father is coming to the house and you cook and serve him with the best plates and all that. So I grew up with that. So coming to London and facing all these things, I was actually the person that even approached the pastor in our church, then in New Wine Church, to say, "Pastor, please, I'm having all these issues. Come and help me. I need help," right? And he would now say, "Don't go to the police because you have already reported him to God. Reporting him to police is an insult to God."
Oh Lord.
Because God, you cannot tell God to take control and then report to police. In fact, when you report to police, you have sinned against God because you have told God that you are not powerful enough to solve my problem, so police can solve my problem.
Blackmail.
Exactly.
Spiritual blackmail.
So all these things are always in place, and our mentality did not help. My mom, that is it. He so brainwashed my mom to think that he's a saint, right? So you have family issues, then you have the pastor and stuff. So and if you're someone that really believes in God, you would believe in what pastor is saying. And because he has done something, he was dedicated. I mean, staying in St. Thomas's Hospital, you know where it is. This guy would come almost every evening and just sit down and pray. Even my ex-husband doesn't visit me every day, but pastor would come. And people, even my nurses, started thinking my pastor was my dad. And I said, "No, he's not my biological." So all those things made me, believe him. But then when the marriage issues were there, and he will always tell me, "Oh, you just need to remove it from your mind." So this girl that died, nobody would have been able to save her. Even me that I'm talking, I keep saying it. If the police had not removed me and the kids from that house, I probably would have been dead by now, or something would have happened.
Victoria, thank you so much for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Real Warri Pikin, I'm going to come back to you. Jude, I'll come back to you after Real Warri Pikin. Real Warri Pikin, do you think there was anything that could have been done for Philo? Maybe did her family not know she was going through all this? Does she not have parents, brothers, sisters? Could they not have done anything to remove her from that situation?
Philo's husband was like the breadwinner for Philo's family, so that tend to have shut the family up. And then like Victoria just said that our ex-husband brainwashed him, so it's the same thing. So you know how African parents will say, just go, manage, endure, bear. So she always get that from her mom. You know, I don't know if she has siblings, but I know she's always talking about her mom. But of course, woman, we not they say her mom we not get money. Now they use it teeth till they do open up a family meeting. So the woman not get the woman go look and say, you go able to tell if you say, you know what your papa do me?
Yeah,
you know what your papa do me? You know, no say we na indomie na shawarma body we get. Then they shop wood. So the way they go blow you that time, the way they go blow us now, difference day, you know.
Exactly.
So I still feel like, forget me, I've had my fair share, but not in domestic violence, but depression.
Yeah.
I had pastors who I went to meet and told me, pray, do this one. I know I have that spirit of discerning to know, judge not, but discern to and test all spirits. I don't know pastor will be real. I don't see pastor wait tell me say I've been led by the Spirit of God to sleep with you. I don't see that one. So I don't see pastors. So I know God for myself first.
Yes.
Before any pastor. If you check and the pastor get problem past you, they get problem past you. You know, so when I even had my depression then, first of all, you go pastor because the God factor must still day. And we know, so we get the belief say pastor shook hand. But trust me, the solution to that debt not to get money pay. You know understand? Until I met someone that said, hustle, try and see what you can. It's the money you need, not be prayer. Say, pastor call they pray. You know say this thing. You know say if you take paracetamol, your headache could go. You go meet pastor, make it pray for you. You know those things. So I feel like Philo is educated. Philo for listening to me, or for even meet a professional. But she only had one option, and the option she had was a pastor. And I tried to make her see reasons with me why she should leave. I was even ready to give her money. I was ready to say, you know what, leave. I'm going to give you money to rent a house and everything. Philo had other options, but you see that pastor. The pastor who Philo for armpit. Wow. You know get where Philo they go. If you say jump, Philo go ask how high. You know, people are different. I never see that pastor where go tell me, see, you know how many pastors, even now they'll tell me say, I see vision. Be careful with your friends. Who not go careful with friends before? If now some other people, they'll call the fear, they suspect friends. Me, maybe not the way I grew up. I not grow up for house where we say, my mama they go meet pastor, my papa they go meet pastor. We first even serve juju, we dance Igbe. They brought me enter Igbe dancing. We dance Igbe for Warri. We serve juju. So I've always known, before we gave our life to Christ, I've always known that pastors are human beings. You know, and I've always known God for myself. I want something, I go down on my knees and I get it. Unfortunately, Philo is not like that. Philo came from a home where pastor takes like the better part of their life. The pastor makes the decision. So she's gone.
So that pastor now, what is he saying now that Philo is dead? What is he
Philo
saying?
never gave me, you know, I've never met Philo. I've never met her.
He said, yeah.
I've never met her. Pastor, I don't know. So when I was thinking that day, I was going through our chat to know if we chatted the pastor's church on her phone. So I can't remember if she said winners or redeem. Our mom is grieving. I want to wait. I have plans. You get where I go wait. I go call the mama. They are grieving now. I go find that pastor. See, I go give them an update.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's winners. Yeah. Winners is my church. I don't know if it's winners or read. I can't remember.
Thank you. We really appreciate that update, Real Warri Pikin. Jude, let's come to you. I mean, you've heard everything. What do you have to say, please? This is all very tragic.
Uh, I'm uh, I'm in awe of these women here who've uh, gone through this experience, right? It is disheartening to hear, but I have to be straightforward. They've touched on religion, they've touched on poverty, they've touched on our way of life, and this is how it all started. We have to look at the whole cycle, the whole picture. You can't look at it half and half. And I thank you very much, the real Warri Pikin and Victoria. You've touched on it, although maybe you touched on it differently, but you've touched on it, and we have to paint the whole picture. Look, let's go religion. He said the kingdom of God is around you and in you. Yeah? Now, the real Warri Pikin said something. If you the whole person money, you don't need prayer, man. If that person come your door, you need to get that money, pay him. If you not pay him, no amount of prayer you want, no amount of fasting will save your life. That is practical. So the kingdom of God is around you. Pay that person the money. Poverty can lead you to do anything. Poverty is very bad. But having said that, we have to look where all of this they come from. The education, what would they get? Real Warri Pikin touch on something. Said the way my mama bring me up. You know, I've always said it in our previous programs. I love the way my mama bring me up. You see, my favorite egusi are the one without leaves, and that is specially made for Olokun. You dey hear me? Olokun. I love Olokun and Ogun egusi so much. I love the music. When they play those drops, it used to drag me out. My friends used to call me Man or Banje. There was something in it. It was so spiritual and natural. I would love to be there. My mom brought us off when my mom is dead now, 4 years ago. My younger brother said, "Oh, thank God my mom gave her life to Christ." I am so pissed off anytime he said that. Excuse my language. Gave life to which Christ? My mom lived the best life. She brought us up this way, and I've always known to do things practically. I've never believed in God, especially the God of Nigeria, and I've never believed in pastors. I would never have taken my problems to pastors. Let me tell you something. I have a very close family member who had this similar situation, and I was sat before the pastor and the husband and the person and my person, and I told the pastor, "Oh, her, if they did this to your daughter, how would you react?" I told him, I said, I walked away. I said, "You are a thief. You are a hustler. Don't be talking to me like this. You are a hustler." I walked away. This is my life, and I'm telling you, this is how I react. And these pastors, like Victoria said, or I don't know if it's Real Warri Pikin who mentioned it, they themselves do these things at home. So protecting the man, the hierarchy of the patriarchal system, they're indirectly protecting themselves. Because if they expose this guy, they expose themselves. Their wife, look, you feel like to the public, you don't feel like to the man in the mirror. You don't feel like to your wife. You go say, "Look, Amo, you be like sent for us. I know what they do for us." We need to check all of that in the system. You mentioned something recently at the earlier stage. What is celebrities do? Celebrities can do a lot, and they have done a lot. I've seen some celebrities check the bands the other time when they accuse them about rape. He said this one, that one. Some celebrities check them, say, "Guy, go clear your name first. We'll not talk to you again." This is how they can do it. We cannot rely on the government because the government has failed. This is why they rely on the church. The church, in some aspects, don't try past the government. You can see why these women they go there. We really need to educate our women. Say you don't need the pastor to tell you this. And secondly, as well, you don't need a man in your life to be who you want to be. I be man. You don't need me. Not be me be this. See me. What I be? You don't need me to be who you want to be. You be your own human being. I be my own human being.
Jude,
yeah?
Let me just cut in for 2 seconds because I want us to just go around the whole sphere of the whole context around domestic violence. You touched on something that the Nigerian government have failed. If we agree that the Nigerian government have failed the women, what can we do? Or what do we suggest the government needs to put in place? Because like the Real Warri Pikin and Victoria, they've brought something here. There's no government shutting this down. We don't have a refuge. We don't have anywhere that people can go to as a place of succor or safety. So what can we do? Because it's not just about, we've seen what's happened with Philo, which is so unfortunate. My heart bleeds for her. My heart bleeds for her family. And especially you being the mentor, Anita. My heart bleeds for you because it's a lot on a human being, for someone that you had that connection with. And for no sickness, No accidents. Someone just decides to maim your life and nobody's even been arrested for this. So let me go to you first and foremost, Anita. What can we do?
First of all, we need to be more awareness. These women don't know better because they're coming from the belief system that says endure, be submissive, stay there. Maybe you are the one doing something wrong. Stop doing that thing that makes him beat you. So we need more awareness. We need to use our platform to tell women that is delusional, to feel like it's your fault that is beating you. There are other options, there are other ways. So I think we should use our platform to sensitize women, to talk to women. And these men, they also need help. They still don't know better because they see their papa, they blow their mama. And then when you say the government has failed woefully. You go see woman go report. My friend in Benin reported to the police. They pursue her, go back. Say, I beg go. Now family matter. Why you call report? No wonder they beat you. Wow. For you to call report, give us. No one, now make her they beat you. Now family matter, go and settle family problem. So since the police do not fail us, can there be a body? If there's a body that will be created to say, if they're to flog the men, or if they're to arrest them, or something, there should be something in place. So they go no say if they try so thing will happen, you know. And then the women, like Mr. Jude said, the women, no, see, forget you can be anything without a man. I know how some men can make you 100% dependent on them, so you will not have your own way. You know that you cannot live when you have to live because of money. Sometimes, it's more honorable to sleep under the bridge than to stay in a house where you are being beaten every day and because it's giving you money. So they just need to change their mindset. They've learned a lot over the years. They need to unlearn and relearn. You know, they need to unlearn and relearn. The men, they need help. You know, they always prepare women. They always prepare women for marriage. Who's preparing the men?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody's preparing the men. Sit like this, do like this. When your husband is talking, do like this. Who they tell the men? Who they tell the men what to do? Nobody does. We only teach them how to be hard. You don't cry, you are a man. Clean your eyes. You know, they just make them hard. They're always hard. You know, so we can actually do a lot, but it starts from sensitizing, letting people know, schooling them that it's wrong.
Thank you for that, Anita. Jude, before I come to you quickly, I just want to go to Victoria. Victoria, and not putting you as a victim, but for someone that's gone through this, what more do you think our government has done? Anita has touched on quite a few things. The way we raise our women, we raise our girls. We don't do that for our boys. We just let them loose. They're men, so they can do whatever they want. So what do you think we can do? Because see, this is 2020. We shouldn't be talking about domestic violence in 2020. We shouldn't be talking about women dying in 2020 with issues like this.
Yuri, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you. We've lost it, right? We've lost it. And this is based on me going for courses, you know, supporting other women. I support a lot of women, but do you know what? A lot of times I cry. Anita said it's about creating awareness. The day I made up my mind to speak on domestic violence, I already sacrificed my privacy and I already gave up myself for abuse. If 60 women tell me well done, 40 tell me you are bitter, you are frustrated, you are this, you are that. Women, I'm telling you. Yeah? And those 40%, I just look at them like, that's why sometimes you know, say, when I go blog sometimes, they're very brutal. Because I will not accept your bullshit. Right? So if I make a comment and someone says you're talking from you're damaged and you're bitter, I go on, and that is there. I finish the person. But that is it. So that creating awareness. Now you're saying celebrities to come and get involved. I live abroad. Shame is nothing. I understand shame. I did psychology. Shame is a mindset, right? I have given mine up, as in negative shame. Oh. The shame I have is, in fact, I don't have any shame at all, because I've just decided to put my life out there, because I want you to know that it can happen to anybody. Domestic violence is not class, you know, whatever. It's not about your class or your gender or your family background or anything. It just happens. And it is because our boys are not well trained, right? The typical man, boy, is damaged from childhood. And so the only way he needs to, you know, exhibit or rebel against himself is to be violent to the other. And why I tell you that this problem is never ending, a lot of men that are terrible to women have terrible mothers. And their mothers have not done anything to help them. So they kind of project the hatred they have for their mom on another woman. When you complain to a woman about the child's behavior and she supports the child, she's afraid of that child, right? She's afraid of the child because of what the child does to her. And it starts from childhood, right? So it starts from childhood. She's doing everything to please the boy and not correcting him. So the boy now grows up and exhibits that violence in public, the violence he has at home. Any man that beats his wife must have beaten his mother or his sister, and nothing happened. So he has either been violent to his blood sister or even mother. And please, we are not even talking about it, but a lot of men, a lot of boys beat their moms up well, and their moms don't report them to the police. No, their mom will keep patching and praying. And I'm not even talking poor homes. I'm talking well-bred homes, like what you call Ajabota homes, posh homes. They hide it. And because a lot of these children as well, they have mental health issues that their parents are covering and protecting.
Undiagnosed.
So if a child has ADHD and you're claiming there's nothing wrong, and he just has a temper. No. If he wants to show you that he's upset with an action and he throws something at you, no, you need to watch that. So the boys are not well bred. The parents, a lot of parents are irresponsible. When the man is now the breadwinner, wahala, then when you now bring out yourself to create awareness, you get scorned, you get abused, you get insulted.
But that's inevitable. I mean, those things must come, but it should not stop us.
Sorry, when Messi, I even had an issue with her husband, that he broke her head, proper breaking. She came out, and she was ready to go out for domestic violence. But you need to see the kind of comments we were reading. Very vile comments. Why would she now continue?
We need to build capacity.
She now left everything about domestic violence and focused on making her money and you know, living her life.
Okay.
And today, the same man that broke her head is, so it's never going to change. When you mention the government, even here, the government struggle with it. Because 1 minute, a woman may finally come out and say, okay, I'm being abused. She'll get help. And the next thing, she's back with the abuser.
Right.
And another thing people don't understand about abuse is the psychological state. The abuser does not become violent from day one. He ropes you in to himself through your emotions before he hits.
Victoria, hold that thought, because I know we're going to go to the psychological element. So I'm going to go to Jude, because I know, Jude, you were going to say something, because I wanted to get both Anita's point of view and Victoria's point of view and see if we can merge things together.
Yeah, I think it is a difficult one for me, because when you hear the stories of survivors and you hear the stories of those who know people who've survived through it and those who've not survived, like the real Warri Pikin has said here today, this story that she brought, you just put your hands up like, you know what, it's a defeated situation. I can't contribute anything better or positive to this movement. But I want to believe that we can change. Here in London, where we live, that's where Victoria lives as well, we're still trying. The difference between here and Nigeria is we have a system that works. The law the law aspect. The law doesn't protect the woman here. I told a friend 2 days ago the statistics, the numbers of women who are killed on a daily in London. He was shocked. He said, that's a lie, because I don't see dead bodies on the street. I said, COVID is nothing. COVID is a heightened news. Domestic violence, women die every day, and it was COVID. I said, because of my work, I work closely with the police and all, I'm privileged to this information. We can't give you this information because you guys will just run crazy. You will not even go to Sainsbury or Lidl or Aldi or One Pound shop or Marks and Spencer to shop, because everybody is crazy to you once you hear this information. This is what we deal with. But Nigeria is almost still like a blank canvas. We can do a lot. The celebrities can do a lot. Why I call the celebrities is because they've got platforms, just as the real Warri Pikin mentioned. We've got platforms. I've always said it on this platform. We've got a platform we need to educate. Everything Victoria and the real Warri Pikin has said is quite valid. We need to train our boys differently. I've said it on this platform so many times. When my wife is saying to my daughter, close your leg, I'm telling my son next to her, Daniel, close your leg too. When my wife is saying, go in the kitchen to my daughter, go make this, I'm saying to Daniel, go stand next to her and make that thing too. When they're saying, go hang the clothes at the back garden, I'm saying to my boy, get up and join your sister. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I said, go learn, because tomorrow you'll be doing it. This is how my mother brought us up. I don't know any different. But having said that, this is the way we need to talk to our people. Victoria mentioned something. Our men in Nigeria, I told somebody recently, I said, all of us, they mad. They say they lie. I said, all of us, they mad. We get mental health problem, and we blind. We the see, but we not the see. We really they mad. Because look at Nigeria, man. Nigeria is a depressed country. I grew up in that country. I stayed my first 25 years there. It was in a depressed state. I was mad. How I survive, I not get out. And you can imagine people in that situation. Look at us. Everywhere we go now, shout, 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 shout. Beat this, beat that. See comments where people they make. Look, we they mad, but we still get a lot to do. We blank canvas. Yes, the government don't fail. We cannot depend on them. Look at the police where people they run to. All the men where they run police, you don't see all of them say that they're mad. Now mad people with guns. How they want to support the woman? Now the woman is the one in this issue, but she's already the victim. But we must not continue to make her the victim. The victim here must become the man. We need to change the narrative in the head and let these men know, so they are not all in all. You are not all in all, my man. Look, what gives you the right on your platform to diss a woman? You they show the woman big bomb, you get more views. Why you not show a man big dick on your platform? I keep telling people this, and as Victoria said, women now they cost me pass. I said, why would they always show women big bomb? What is this with women big bomb? We are objectifying them. This is how it starts. Yesterday, I'll tell you something. Somebody I don't want to mention in there, put her on a platform. He show a woman with very skimpy dress, a man the video and they go.
I saw that.
Why you hear this? If they rape you now, blah blah blah. And one guy comment there say, "Not true, my brother. You they talk the truth. If they rape her now, gonna complain." I went to the guy. I said, "You and your bent penis. You see they make comments. You they crazy. How does this woman short dress invite you to rape her? Keep your bent penis in your trouser. You got no right to tell her what she want wear. What it concern you? You don't understand. We need to really put the man as a victim here. The man is the victim, is the perpetrator, is the criminal in this matter. And who run on the institution in Nigeria? They are all men. Dino Melaye stood in Senate House. He said, I go rape another person's wife. I go beat you, I go pregnate you. Anybody arrest him for that? The IG could not do anything because the IG obviously they in the same boys gang. How can you threaten another man's wife, say you go beat him? Look, the real Warri Pikin, una they try for that country now, every women. I don't know how they do amongst those tigers. Look, we can do a lot. We cannot give up hope. Sensitizing as the real Warri Pikin talk, we go continue to do it with our platform. And look, I tell my brothers, you can't touch them, your wife. If you don't carry your bag, they go. Who you be? Who you be with this saying that you want the sex, the rule and everything? Who you? I said, nah, man, I be who I be. Not be honoring, not be me, be the thing I get between my leg. Where another person not get. Where you want to kill another person for. No, seriously. We need to call them out. How it be. If we not start to call the men out, we'll not get where they go. We'll just get so many philo story. Up and down, up and down. We need to call our brothers out, call our fathers out, call our uncles out, call our male cousins out, call our nephews out, all the men. Government officials, all of them. And even in this country, Western world, it was fast. And they deal with a lot. A lot of women go tell me, say, then they do this one. Look, we fail our women here in this country too, in London. The police, because some of the police officers here too, then they abuse. They don't believe the woman. Nobody believes the woman when she talk out. Look, we pass all this situation. I'm not going to put my hands here and say I never involved for things like this. When would they grow up? I get girls who don't beat me up too. She not let me tell anybody now. I take my pride. You know what? I try to talk. We grow up for this thing. As Warri Pikin talk, we grew up for that kind of situation, but we must not remain there.
Yeah.
But more not deviate from the issue. We need to bring her back to the real concern. Those pastors need to deviate from giving those kind of false advices. It not work. It got nothing to do with God. Then a bruised person picking their person daughter, you get to advise her make she carry her bag before they kill her. Because somebody don't die now, I want to give you tithe and offering.
That's another issue. Let's not touch that one.
Yeah,
Thank you for that, Jude.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Jude. I remember, I mean, a few days ago, or maybe last week, a very notable celebrity beat up a girl in a restaurant. Okay, Victoria, you posted about that. Anita, I think you must have heard about that as well. I don't want to name names, right?
I'll check it out.
This, I will send you the post. This celebrity.
Now, Cubana chief priest.
Okay.
I ain't beat somebody. Now, I know what.
Thank you, Jude. I'm not for all that nonsense because I investigated the matter.
He's a criminal, he's a perpetrator. Who will be? I go name him. You know if he do me nothing. Anyway, I go check him. I
think the issue here, and I know we're about to finish up. It's just sad. It's a very sad one as a woman, as someone that has a daughter, because you've invested a lot in your child. Like Philo now is educated. Her parents must have put their 110% into this child to raise a wonderful human being, and they're not even chop on top of heads. You know, I want that to sink for 2 seconds for anyone watching this, as in the power that you think you have to just maim someone's life, reduce them to nothing other than a name now, because all we have now is Philo.
I think the thing is, as you said, it all boils down to poverty. Because imagine Philo was a senator's daughter, for example. That guy will never raise up his hand.
No, Cecilia,
They beat them. They beat.
So they beat all of them. Join.
Now they beat pass.
Have you forgotten Nigella, the chef in UK here? They also struggle the public. You know how much she's worth? There's a current honorable, a lady, that her husband was beating her. Her father is a billionaire. And that was why her marriage ended. So
maybe this thing is a mental health. Maybe it's a mental health issue then. Maybe not mental health issue.
It's not just a mental health issue.
It's not mental health.
It's something you just touched on, Celia. You almost mentioned what it was, the power structure. You almost advocated that can they go touch a senator Pikin. What you have done there, if I beat a senator daughter, the papa will come out on street, arrest that boy. So what you're saying, that is the problem we need to address. That power structure, that power to say, I want to go arrest the whole village. I hear say this small girl will marry that rich senator, ex-senator. Your husband go arrest the whole village. We need to check those things. Look, not just Philo case. If somebody, they say, arrest that boy, when the boy not do anything, we need to check that. Then you'll be able to check Philo on. Because when you not check that, you can't check Philo case. So when they say the bunch allegedly raped, we need to check that and deal with it properly. When they say that pastor from Abuja, that tall fine guy, he raped person, we need to check him. Michael, we need to check him. When we not check the guy correctly, then the other pastor for Abuja can do it. The other one for Bayelsa go do him. Then Philo go happen because we dey check one, we know they check one. Look, if I just they harass you for street, they video your bomb, say, look big nash, look this. We need to check that. It's a crime. What does the law of Nigeria say? We cannot become hypocrites. Kaduna people are getting slaughtered on a daily. We still they shout Black Lives Matter in George Floyd. How does that translate? Now Philo don't go. What do? We need to check every of this. Not until we check and put it in the right place, we'll get more Philo. And I tell you, because that senator, we cannot encourage the senator to go carry police and go arrest you. No, you should let the law take its course. But because he move with bodyguards, he move with look Femi Kayode. He insulted a male journalist. Imagine a woman journalist. Imagine a woman, that guy for beat, if for slap that woman for there, if for do everything. So when you need to check every instant of crime. Otherwise, if that was a woman, for the majority that guy for do that, if for did was, he check himself because now guy, now he quiet. You know, so the guy if he check him. If not woman, that guy for pieces if for talk all sort of nonsense.
And
so we check all of that excesses in the community.
And with Cubana chief priest, with the assault he made on that woman, I really don't know what the outcome was. Did he get arrested by the
no? I think he went in for questioning. He denied everything. That he denied he doesn't even know her, right? And this is a brand he's worked with in 2018, I guess. And in working with that brand, he worked with the girl personally, right? So, but the good thing is it's an official matter. So her company has gotten her a lawyer, and she's taking the case to court. Right now, she's just appealing for witnesses to come forward. Because another thing is, the witnesses that were there, a lot of them are not, some are saying, oh, we didn't record it, or we cannot talk. They are afraid because it happened in Warri. You understand? But I still communicate with her, and hopefully, it didn't happen to her as a girl. It happened. It's an official thing. So I'm happy that her company is backing her. But you see, as we speak right now, someone is dying from domestic violence. As we speak, someone is beaten up. It is not domestic violence is the end result. We need the root is, like Jude said, bring up your boy child properly, and the girl child as well. But I tell my son, I have a 15-year-old, and I say, when you're getting married, you're marrying your lover, not your maid. Because my daughter is not going to be somebody else's maid. So another woman's daughter is not going to be your maid. You need to learn how to do things for yourself. And if you can't, thank God we are in the West, order Uber, get a cleaner. If you can't perform, get someone to do herself and pay. Right? So don't. So we as parents, it boils down to us. A lot of us have failed, right? Because we bring that African entitlement mentality and come here. He's a boy. He's beating you. He's raping people. You hide it. Look at the little girl that was raped by that. I posted that one as well. The mother was in Germany. Before, as the poor guy had gone to the police, the mother had sent 2 lawyers. She had paid 2 lawyers to go and defend her son, right? It was out of frustration that man had to go to the press and scream. He went to report his 5-year-old girl was raped. The police beat him up, told him to sit on the floor and seize his phone. For crying out loud, what kind of a country is that? And until he spoke out, and I started tagging everybody. And justice, is being... So that woman in Germany, I said I needed her because through Interpol, she's an adversary to a rapist because she's paying money to free him. You understand? So what about that woman? She knows her child is a rapist. And tomorrow that boy may get married when he comes out. She knows. And she's covering it. So where does it end? This is our generation. Let's just leave it. But the younger ones, we as mothers, we need to promise ourselves and the father here that our male son would have a conscience, will be well brought up, will have love and compassion. Look, if your mother is a sweet woman and you love her and you see when she's stressed out and she sheds tears, any woman you see looking in a certain way, you will have empathy. You will have compassion. But when the mother is a bitch, the hatred is there. When you see the way your mother treated your father, a lot of children will grow up and say, I will never give a woman the opportunity to treat me this way. And they grow up and start being very, very hard and unreasonable. Because I saw what my mother did to and then they marry and they punish their wives for the sins of their mother. And it's called transferred aggression. And you report to his mom, and his mom says, well, you talk too much. You need to do this. And going back to pastor again, religion has messed us up, including me. It's just recently, I said I'm not taking my kids to church anymore. Because I don't want my daughter to say, oh, pastor said, no. Instead, I listen to wisdom, wise gurus and stuff, you know, because the brainwashing is too much.
We see
And once this thing sets in, in psychology, you can't, it is difficult to remove the things that you grew up with from your mind and your memory. I believe that a cow can make my dreams come true. It will be hard for you to tell me that that cow is not making my dream come true.
Okay, Victoria,
right?
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Before we round up, real Warri Pikin, you are the one on ground in Nigeria. Now you they see how everything they play. Abi? Now you they see how everything they be, how they play. Waiting we fit do. Waiting the government. What can we do collaboratively together to build a refuge, to put people in place, social workers, care, you know, people that can volunteers, okay, people that can support women that are going through domestic violence, so that they no longer have any reason not to leave that relationship. What can we do together as celebrities? You guys that are celebrities, what can you all do? We are ready to support with our platforms, and let's send a message to the Nigerian government. They know they hear what. What can we do?
Wow, see where funny enough, they get bodies for Nigeria where they do where they help women, where they do all these things. So they get people, they get NGOs, they get bodies where they do them. I know some of them because a lot of them reached out to me when I made that video, you know. But it just be like say they're not they do anything because the problem big past the solution. The problem
It be like that.
and what?
Yeah, go on.
The problem big and it happen for everywhere. 80% of Nigeria now they happen. People when they fight against them not reach 2 naira. You know, so that's why it seems like nothing is happening. Nobody is doing anything. So, but I want to say something about what Victoria said about the trolling and the 8 comments. You know, that is inevitable. It must happen. They cost me too now. If I talk anything, go focus on your marriage. Focus on your marriage. And they talk what it makes sense. They cost me too. But if everybody want to focus on what people they talk, nobody go help anybody for this life. So I don't tell myself, say I go build capacity. I will do the one with my power reach. I will build capacity. I will fence my face. I will buy lock up. Cost me. The day when I'm not a good mood, I will cost you back.
Painful.
It's even better not to cost back. Or when you cost back, and that time you'll see, when you go their page, you'll see the way they're worthless. You go even sorry for them.
Yeah.
Because you can't give what you don't have. All they have is bitterness and hate. So I always put my energy in I reply the ones that are telling me go on, good. Those ones I give them my energy, and I just keep doing what I have to do. Because the insult, especially being a woman in this country, is a disadvantage first. They just feel like all there is to be a woman is to get married, give birth, and focus on your home. We don't have purpose. We don't have noble goals. We don't have dreams, you know. So, like I said, we still have to keep schooling people. And then that body I talked about, if the government says that they do it, you not get the sector where not touch.
No, but like I said earlier, when you not challenge them for one corner. I remember years ago when Oyedepo slapped a young girl in church, call her witch. We tell her, yeah, would they wait for us? Somebody come back to London, we'll go lock him up for child abuse. He defended himself, his wife defended them, people defended them. So when you not challenge little things like that, you expect Philo to be saved. This is not the thing when they talk. Oyedepo say, I go do him again. I said, look, you come that for again. When you say you go do it, go lock you up here. He cannot step in foot for London now. Now yeah,
was it the one that he was doing? He was deliverance.
Deliverance.
Anointing.
He was during a deliverance session.
We get power. What we do, we just compile their list and give out to our organizations here. When they step their foot here, we go deal with the question. This is how we deal with them. Now, look, you got to be able to challenge little things, not just Philo. Philo now, thank you for bringing it out. You know how many Philo they know they come out? You know how many Philo they don't even know about? You know how many Philo police they cause by themselves? The politicians, you know how many politicians go carry travel and not go hear of them again. And another thing I want to talk here, I know say, yeah, person we don't die, not talk evil of them. There was a pastor recently where his wife died, Pastor Igodalo or something. The wife died. She was just 40 or shy of 40.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know these people from before, but when I watched the pages of that woman, I saw how joyous, how boisterous she was, how happy this woman was, and how young she was, and how mysteriously she died. I questioned, I said, come on, man, where is the autopsy so we go know for posterity waiting happen? No, they bury her very quick. They say, the Lord gives and the Lord takes. Which Lord? Which Lord give and the Lord take? We not question that. Why would they question Philo? Who do Philo? All those little things, we got to look at. I go on the Instagram page, I say, sorry, you didn't mourn your wife, but waiting kill your wife. We got to know for the posterity of your children. Now heart attack, now cancer, so the children go, no. No, he was accepting Obasanjo and every criminal for the country come greet him. He was happy, and a week later, they buried that beautiful woman without knowing where to kill her. And we think that the country go move forward. If you not check for the small one, which one you want check for? Everything is poto, everything jaga jaga, as our brother talk. Who sing them? He jaga jaga for us. But Warri talk that I say my wife room na kitchen. She's in the other room. Nobody check them. They were all happy. He say your wife room na kitchen he be. So your wife now go cook till she die. Can you believe it? So she's been commodified. So if we not check those little things, when I tell people say they cook for kitchen, they are still surprised, especially Nigerian women. Nigerian women, they're surprised. Boss, you they cook? I say if I not cook, man, I go hungry. What do you think? So that's true. They tell now. The problem, big pastors, but we got to continue pushing.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for that. I'm going to come back to real Warri Pikin quickly before we round up. What can we do? I know, right? I know you already mentioned NGOs. Do we need more NGOs or do we need more funding for those NGOs? What do we need?
More NGOs, more funding. Parents should try and raise their boy well, and then there should be like the government should have this. I don't know, because if I say me you say they say if you rape person, you just shoot and die. I feel like shooting is actually
no, it's necessary. It's necessary.
That's too much. But may they arrest them. There should be something. There should be something. There should be that fear with the runs where they already there, because this one's like you cannot tell me that their parents' house and they are still raising them. No, they already come up for their parents' house. Those ones still there, and they are going to be very much around. What can the government do to those ones?
So maybe
because we're always saying the woman should leave, the woman should leave. Women there for queue, as the woman they come out, another one they enter. These men they are still just there.
Is there any?
So the government has to do so.
Is there any way we can do without the government? If we come together, put our hands together, is there any way we can do without the government? Because it not be like government ready help.
They're not even nearly ready.
Another way you can do that though, you can your Hollywood movies and your skits you do, please, because people really watch videos and images. It matters a lot. Look, those things. You look Nigerian Hollywood movies. Victoria was part of this movie though. They beat you so many times for your movie as well. They always ended up in the church. That's why I never watched it. I love Victoria. I love Eukaria and Unobi. Few of them I love. Joke Siva and her husband, they were my favorites. The amateurs were great. Look, everything ended in the church. So you can see the pattern for the man. You can see the pattern for the family, the young family who coming out. All they see is these videos. You beat me, you end for church, pastor talk. Juju start, you end for church. Those things that we need to really sensitize them. Those Nollywood movies need to really do something like somebody beat in wife for that video, then police really arrest them, then the court carry and go put for prison. You need to do that. That is very vital. If they not see those videos, nothing will change. That's the biggest way we feel change them. Because now those videos they see. You know what things say Nollywood matter for our life. It matter a lot, I tell you. Kai. Today, say, I sing one song. Hey, I don't forget the song. If I sing it for laughs, one of those songs where those guys they go do human sacrifice. I was singing it today. I can't stop for myself saying, this movie more than 25 years, but I was singing it. They matter a lot.
Subconsciously.
They matter a lot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Jude. We're going to round up now. So, what we're saying is we would try, we need to know what to do collectively. So again, as Jude said, more Nollywood movies to portray what should really be happening to these men and women as well that are perpetrators of domestic violence, right? They really need to get the hand of the law, okay? And also, Warri Pikin, all those your skits where people they watch, like say tomorrow, not day. Maybe more of that with regards to domestic violence and what happens in the end, in a way that it can sort of portray what can actually happen in real life if a man or a woman is the perpetrator of domestic violence, right? And I mean, I just wish that, you know, Nigerian celebrities could come together a bit more to do something. I know you guys are already doing a lot, and I know you have your own families, you have your own responsibilities, but I mean, except say all these, some of these things, because all these them whiskey, Davido, all these people where get money, this is where they need to put the money in. Except say all those things now due. I know go fee for that one.
I know, Celia, you're about to round up. I think we need to make more noise regarding the law. Yeah, so noise, because it's a real Warri Pikin and all of them, they do their own. But if there's no consequence, we can ask him from now to 1962. If consequence not there, this thing not
you can't have consequence when the perpetrators are the government people. You can't. The government official that messes around with other girls, beats up his wife, most times they don't even see their wives, right? And you're telling him to make a law. The government official that their son is raping the house girl at home, right? And their son is raping girls in universities. And then the punishment for the child is to bundle the child to Europe or America to continue schooling. Yeah, so how the father, the politicians that will go to university and specifically say they want 17 to 18-year-old girls, they want threesome with these little girls, that's consensual rape. And at the end of the day, tell their PAs to give them money and to go away. And you want them to put a law, meaning that the girl can wake up next week and say, you know what, you had sex with me, you know, without my consent, and that's rape. How is that going to happen? You have all these government people that are very diabolical. They rape for fetish reasons. We see all of them. People go to rape mad women. Who impregnates those mad women on the road?
That's true.
Right? So forget the government. Now, when you come to individuals, we are not a charitable nation. We are not in ourselves a charitable. I learned charity in the United Kingdom. I learned what it is to give someone for no reason, someone you don't know. I mean, just one homeless person should just do GoFundMe and say, oh, I was robbed in the mall. Before you know, it's 1 million is there.
Maybe you know what we should do. You know what we should do? Maybe we should start a GoFundMe to build a women's refuge, a domestic violence refuge in Nigeria. Maybe it will work, because the whole thing tire me. It'd be like everywhere, where every corner where we turn, there's no solution.
Women already have refuge. Women have refuge. Women have refuge already.
In Nigeria.
To your parents' home. Parents must not
say parents will not accept them back.
You can't build a refuge, because refuge will not work in Nigeria. They will attack the refuge.
Who will attack refuge?
Yes.
Hey, you better say you don't know
Nigeria. The husbands, the abusers will attack them.
They will attack. The police will give them the details.
Yeah, refugees are in unknown places because the perpetrators will find it. When I live in the refuge, I have to change my phone. I have to use a phone without a tracker. Yes, because the perpetrators will find you, and a lot of women have been killed. Why do you think all these super drug and boots are there? Because the perpetrators train you. So run into any boots and alert them, and they will call the police. That's what it's for. It cannot work in Nigeria because from refuge to rehabilitation. Now, I was from refuge to rehabilitation in a system that works. Why would I have gotten 50,000 pounds to go to university? Who is ready to do that in Nigeria? Because I'm talking today with confidence, because my brain has been retuned by education. So I am no longer that church pastor believing girl anymore. You know, I'm very aggressive now.
And you know what? It's true. Before we round up, let me just... Victoria, following what you said, and Warri Pikin, you mentioned something. It is very, I mean, since it don't be like saying nothing where we feel do, because any solution, there's a counter argument to block it, right? So I think what we need to do is to know God for ourselves. We mentioned them earlier. People should stop depending on pastor. You need to believe, say, if you put your hand on your head and you pray, the same healing where you go get from pastor, you feel get them by yourself. The only difference is say you don't need to pay put. Because all these pastors, when they say, come sow seed, come sow seed. Do you understand? So that's what we need to know.
I saw though. I used to sow seed where in my church.
I think everybody here don't sow seed at some
point. I never ever sow.
You don't know.
Never.
Me don't use my credit cards to do offering.
I never get seed. I not get seed.
That one years ago. I know they try them again now. Anyway, may we round up because this whole matter. I mean. This episode is dedicated to Philo, okay?
Yeah.
It's dedicated to her.
Yes,
and I think with this, her memory we kind of live on because this video will be there for years to come. And, you know, I just pray that her soul would rest in peace and she would, you know, have eternal rest. And I just hope that, you know, that there are no more Philos out there. And I just feel like as we are talking, there's another Philo out there already.
There's a Philo as we are talking, being buried.
And it's so sad. It's so sad. We need to remove ourselves from this situation and damn the consequences, the shame factor. We need to forget about what people are going to think and think of ourselves. Okay, on that note, we're going to end it. Victoria, thank you so much for coming back on Trash It and doing this topic with us. Dude, thank you so much for coming. And again, Real Warri Pikin, Thank you so much. And we would love to have you back. Now, yeah, we want to set you up. So we would love to have you back on the show at some point to discuss another topic. So as we don't tell our viewers, say we want you back. So you will come say, yes, you will come back. So if we can't ask you, may you come and you not come, you be say you don't hold on to your promise. You don't understand that. So Real Warri, we would like to have you back on our show. Yeah? So we can.
And I would love to come back on your show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And hopefully at that point it will be another topic that's not so heavy like this, right?
It's fine. It's fine.
Again, Yori, thank you for being a great co-host. On that note, we're going to end it now. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
All right, thank you.
When this episode premieres on Saturday morning, we do like for people that are on the panel to be on the premiere so that people can ask questions and we can have replies and things like that from our panelists. We were picking you shocked for there. I go explain that later. No worry. Okay.
Please wake me up.
I'll wake you up. So on the Saturday we're going to premiere this. Real Warri Pikin, don't worry. We'll be in touch with you. We will tell you. Just send us number. Maybe we feed a chat for WhatsApp. You don't understand that kind of thing. Yeah.
No, Allah.
Okay. Victoria, thank you so much. Jude, thank you so much, guys, and it's been a pleasure. Okay. On that note, see you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.